Behind me might just be the ultimate reliable family vehicle. I'm going to link to the Chevy and Murray's website in the description down below. If you have any questions and need help, just ask for Jordan. Let's get right into the review. Under the hood is a 4.3 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic. It puts out 276 horsepower and then 298 pound-feet of torque. If you're looking for more straight to the point reviews like this, make sure you subscribe. Now, like pretty much every single Express you see on the road, finished in white. Not a big deal though, you could always wrap it if you wanted a different color. And then you guys can see a little bit more basic design with the headlights. It's crazy to see this in 2026. You do have some plastic at the top of the bumper, and by the way, we got a real bumper. This isn't a Barbie car like every modern SUV. And I will make comparisons to modern SUVs because this is basically the same price as one. 245 by 75 by 16 for the tire and wheel setup. So it's actually going to be not super expensive to replace the tires. You notice that this is unpainted, which is great. You don't have to worry about rock chips, and they're big mirrors, so they help out with visibility. We also have side steps here with this to help out with access. And this one is the extended version, so it's a long boy. And the door for the back is only on this side. The other side does not have a door. Here's a quick look at that other side. Before we go into the side door, I actually want to show you guys the back here. So of course, just got a mechanical little latch and it's lockable. And you can actually open up the window in the back for airflow. There's a bunch of these little window latches throughout to help out with airflow in the van. The other side, I forgot it's inside. No, I was correct the first time. I forgot the latch is just right there. I just didn't actually pull on it. And this window can also open. You'll notice there's not a crazy amount of space behind the seats. So that is one downside, but you could also use the cargo area, like the seating area rather, as a cargo area if you don't fill the whole thing up with passengers. And then here's a quick look at the back end of the van. Speaking of back end, look at those leaf springs. Chunky boys. We'll look at the payload later. Now let's pop into the side door here, which also has a little window you can open. And for those of you wondering, this also opens. So you can have just like a partial open, or you can have a wider opening. Now, if you count the driver's seat, there are 11 seats in this van in total. And you'll note that we actually have vents throughout. It's kind of like an airplane. That's what this reminds me of. And you have giant windows. Like, again, modern SUVs and everything are, you know, designed very angularly, and so the windows are always tiny. These seats are also very durable feeling. They're comfortable. You have armrests throughout, and everything has seat belts as well. And so it's just set up. And I mean, I basically have, like this seat in particular, I've got infinite amounts of room. But even in just the other seats, you've got good room because you have this nice flat floor. Let's now take a look up front. Here's a better look at the mirrors, and I actually want to show you guys the gross vehicle weight rating on this. So it is 9,600 pounds. And then the payload capacity on this is 3,355 pounds. Just kidding, the gross vehicle weight rating is actually updated. There's a new sticker, 9,900 pounds. Now here's the front seat. Look at that. That is peak seat design. Comfortable, open as well. And you've got this durable trim on the sides. You don't have to worry about, you know, tearing and all of that. Light controls here. Speaking of peak design, key in the ignition, just as it should be. Now the steering wheel has a very durable trim on it. You've got cruise control with this. We do have a column shifter, plus and minus. You can shift the gears yourself. And you guys probably saw the gauge cluster. Ah, the OnStar lady. She won't go away. Shut up. Okay, well, anyways, gauge cluster, it's analog mostly. You got a little screen there, old school, but again, I think this stuff is aging like fine wine because all of us, at least myself, are sick of the screens. Now, just because of the federal mandate, we do have a backup camera. It's in the rear view mirror. It's kind of hard to see because of the lighting. But anyways, the federal government does not mandate stupid touchscreens. So you get physical climate controls here. You got physical buttons for the radio. Again, just a very basic system. And the thing that's so nice about this is you know that this monitor is still going to work in like 20 years from now and hundreds of thousands of miles. You still have the little passenger airbag turn-off switch, which GM used to have in all their vehicles, but obviously they've gotten rid of the little physical switch for it. Got some cup holders here and a little storage. Look how practical this is. I need to show my wife one of these. She'd absolutely love it. We got more storage there, and then we do have this for the rear climate to control that from the top. Very easy system to use. And this is where things get exciting. 53,883. Let's take this out and see how it performs. So satisfying. Not electronic. It's just, I love the mechanical feel. And here's the deal. Automakers don't think that people want this anymore in passenger cars, but it's just that there's been a shift. And the shift has come faster than expected. And that's kind of the modern world, because I remember when I first started selling cars, it took people forever to like come along to something different in terms of their opinion. It used to be that someone would have an opinion of something like, let's say one that I experienced back in the day was the 360 camera systems. People were kind of like concerned about it, right? So there was that, and then there was the people that they had to have it. Can't live without it. They got to have the newest stuff. And now we're getting to the point where people are like, yeah, it's cool, I don't really need it. You know what I mean? But it was years of like the same thing, whereas now people will change their opinion on what they want in like a week and a half. And so yeah, things just shift faster. It's harder to keep up as an automaker, I can imagine. But yeah, this basic stuff's making a big comeback. A big part of it's affordability. People just don't have money anymore. But a big part of it's also just peace of mind. So many people, myself included, are sick of buying, you know, a vehicle and then it has problems instantly. It's like, I just want something that works all the time. Man, this is smooth. And here's the thing is, like, this proves that, because this is an HD vehicle, right? There's no fuel economy rating. This proves that when an automaker is less constricted by emissions, this still has some constrictions. It's not like HD vehicles have nothing. That's why HD trucks, for example, have DEF. If there was no emissions regulation, they wouldn't have DEF. But when there are fewer constrictions, automakers, mainstream automakers like General Motors, can build a reliable, smooth, just great powertrain. I mean, if you took this powertrain and you put this in any modern SUV, it would be beloved by so many people. Again, it doesn't have crazy power, but it's so smooth. And large displacement V6s and large displacement V8s are amazing because they're not under any stress, really. So much torque. And this thing's crazy is, you take this engine and you compare this to a modern turbo engine, and this, again, just because this has so much more displacement, it just feels beefier. Really. It feels really beefy. Now the suspension on this is going to be a little bit firmer, but it's actually not that bad. It just honestly feels like I'm driving a truck. Just feels like I'm driving a truck. The seats are very comfortable. I love how the floors are not carpeting. It's this, like, I don't technically call this vinyl, but maybe you would call it vinyl floor. Anyways, easy to clean floors. Rubber. That's kind of what it looks like. So smooth. Man, this V8, or not V8, excuse me, V6. This is peak. And again, the top end of this is not going to be, I'll get like a little acceleration here. It's again, it doesn't have a crazy amount of horsepower, so it's not going to have like a big top end. But it'll do. And I like having weight in the steering too. You know, the new electronic power steering's fine, but having the ability to feel what the front wheels are doing. Yeah, this thing's all about torque. It's all about torque. Man, what a great engine. I've never driven Chevy's 4.3 V6 before, and I'm very impressed. I thought that it would actually feel really slow. Now, I imagine if you drive this thing, we're actually gonna go up here again. I imagine if you drive this thing up a really steep canyon, it's probably gonna feel lackluster, but like, that ain't bad at all. This thing's got some power. Man, I love this thing. What a great van. What a great engine. I know this is not gonna be for everyone, but like what I think is, at least go and drive one of these before you buy one of the new plasticky, ooh, slug bugs, 2 of them, old school. Anyways, before you buy, you know, new plasticky SUV, go and check one of these out. You might find that you like the space that this provides. It's not traditional, but like, who cares? If you have a vehicle that's reliable, that can take your, you know, family around comfortably, reliably, like that's all that really matters. Who cares about what it looks like? You know what I mean? So that's the Express with the 4.3 V6. Man, what a beautiful engine.